Who I believe to be the true birthers of choosing beggars, it's entitled parents. Our first one is from Kath Joy. Many years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I used to work in a supermarket. Normally, I got along with all my colleagues and was always happy to do them favors, like swapping shifts, provided I was not doing anything. However, one colleague had a habit of seeing last-minute holiday deals and then booking them before she checked if she could have the time off. Then, if management told her too many people were off, she tried to bully the other staff into canceling their holiday. Sadly, many buckled and gave in to her. This time around, myself and a manager had a week off in the same week she wanted. She knew she couldn't bully the manager, so while I was on break, she came up to me.
"Oh, hey, you're on holiday in a few weeks, right?"
I nodded, knowing where this was going.
"Oh, well, I just booked this beautiful holiday in the Maldives. Beautiful resort, great bargain. The kids are so excited. The trouble is, management said they can't give me the time off because you're off. Would you cancel your holiday?"
No.
"No? What do you mean, no? You're not going anywhere. You never go anywhere. What difference does it make if you take your holiday another week?"
I actually have plans.
"Yeah, probably sleeping. That's not plans. You are so selfish after all the favors I have done for you."
You've never done me any favors. I've swapped several shifts for you over the years, including New Year's, because you said you wanted to spend time with your kids. But every time I ask to swap a shift with you, you always refuse.
"Well, you don't have kids. It doesn't matter when you take holiday. My kids are so excited about this holiday. You're going to upset them. And I already paid my deposit. I'll lose it if I cancel now."
Maybe you should have checked you could have the time off before you booked the holiday.
"You are such a selfish bitch. What are you doing that is so important that you won't give up your holiday time?"
I'm going to my cousin's wedding.
"What, for a whole week? That's bullshit."
Actually, I'm planning to spend most of the week catching up with my family there. I haven't seen them in years.
"Well, it's just a cousin. They're not important, and if you haven't seen them in years, that's your fault. You could see them anytime. I need that holiday week more than you."
She continued to piss and moan, calling me selfish, demanding I cancel my holiday. She tried to guilt me into submission by reminding me her kids were so excited, how upset they would be if they couldn't go, how I was going to make them cry, and how they hadn't had a holiday like this in years, which was an utter lie. Having had enough of her, I got up and walked away, because if I didn't, I was going to lose my temper. I immediately put in a complaint to HR and the duty manager. The manager had a word with her and told her she can't make people cancel their holiday. She claimed she had just asked me nicely, and I took it the wrong way, and the complaint went no further, though my colleague did at least stop bugging me. Fast forward several weeks. I returned to work after my holiday and found no trace of my colleague. Usually, as soon as anyone who refused to cancel got back from holiday, she would waste no time in trying to make them feel bad. I soon learned that my colleague had been fired. It turns out that she had called in sick the week I was on holiday. The managers got suspicious, as this was the exact week she wanted off. They did some digging where they saw pictures on her Facebook account that proved she went ahead and went on holiday anyway, so she was immediately dismissed. Note, yes, this story was featured on NAR way back in 2018. Yes, I am the OP. You can see me post as the OP in the comments of that story. Go and take a look if you don't believe me. No, I'm not a karma farmer and decided to share this story on Reddit as well because I thought people might enjoy it. This is beautiful karma for the Karen though, because honestly, trying to guilt people into giving up their vacation because you're a poor planner, if she's as poor as a worker as she is a planner, it's no shock that she got fired, especially considering she lied about being sick. And our final one is by Don't Call Me Metal. Hello y'all, long time lurker, first time poster. My boyfriend's power is out, so I have no one else to vent to, so please, listen to my tale of woe. I work at a car dealership as a receptionist, one of my duties being greeting customers when they enter. I am a professional artist on the side, and I've been busy with some commissions lately, so since it's not busy at the dealer, I started working on my iPad mini. It's old and I'm working on upgrading, but I currently can't afford to, so I live with it despite the battery life being really short, and I have to basically keep it plugged in at all times. During my lunch, I was in the waiting area doing more work when a kid, a little girl no older than 4, came up and watched me work. This happens a lot when I draw in public, and usually the kids just ask a lot of questions. But this nice girl was very quiet and just had a look of amazement, so I let her be. Her mother, the entitled mother in this story, was nearby at a salesman's desk working on purchasing a new car, which is a long and no doubt boring process. The salesman working with her walked away, which at my dealership they do very often to retrieve paperwork, talk to the sales and finance managers, etc. She looked over at me and her kid and asks her,
"What are you looking at?"
Her kid points at my screen and says,
"She's painting puppies."
I was working on Twitch emotes of a streamer's dog. I sort of show my screen to entitled mom, and then she asks her kid if she wants to draw, which the girl excitedly said yes. I expected entitled mom to pull out a paper and pencils, or at least ask if I can get some for her too, but she just looked at me expectantly. When I realized she was waiting for me to hand her my iPad, I said, "Oh, she can't use mine, but I can get her a notepad and pens." But apparently that wasn't good enough. She sighs and says,
"Just let her draw for a little bit. I'm almost done here anyway."
Which I knew for a fact wasn't true. They were waiting on bank approval for a loan, which can take anywhere between 5 and 30 minutes. And even then, they'll be here longer for finance paperwork, detailing, etc. I start to explain that this is part of my work and she scoffs, saying I'm just doodling puppies and it was selfish that I wouldn't let Nice Girl doodle on my device too. Poor Nice Girl was just looking at her hands, looking quite embarrassed. I then pretended my lunch was over and got up to spend the rest of my lunch at my desk. I couldn't see her behind a huge truck on display, but I can hear her grumble to Nice Girl about who knows what. Whatever, pretend like I didn't hear so I didn't mess up the sale for my coworker. Sometime later, nature called me and I got up to use the restroom. I left my iPod on my seat so it'll stay plugged in and put a notepad over it to try to cover it up somehow. My desk is a wide crescent shape with no drawers to keep my things safe, so this was the best I could do to somewhat hide it. I was in the restroom no longer than 3 minutes, but when I got back, only my charger remained. My iPad and Apple Pencil were gone. I looked over to the lady who had her large purse suspiciously in her lap now instead of on the floor beside her chair like it was before. I was panicked because a lot of my work is on that iPad that I needed. I went to my sales manager and told him the situation. He told me he would take care of it, but to be patient for now. I went back to my desk full of anxiety and my stomach doing backflips. Sales manager went to the desk where the entitled mom was to work out the deal. They're far enough that I can hear their voices, but not pinpointing what they're saying. But I did hear her eventually yell,
"How dare you! I would never steal! Do you want to lose this sale?"
I immediately got up and went over behind the lady so sales manager could see me, but she couldn't. He tells her he understands, but my iPad went missing and he wants to make sure no one currently in the building has it. That's when I remembered the Find My feature on all Apple products. My iPad was connected to the dealer's Wi-Fi, so I pulled out my iPhone and pressed play sound for my iPad. Her purse started dinging. She tried to play it off as it's her ringtone and sales manager stared at her, as if daring her to answer it. Thing is, with the play sound feature, if I kept pressing it, it will keep pinging. I made my presence known and told her to give my iPad back. That's when she stopped playing dumb and just said,
"Just let nice girl have it. Her birthday is coming up and I can't afford a present for her since I'm getting this car."
Sales manager said he was happy to cancel the deal so she can instead buy a birthday present for her child and to return my iPad or he'll call the police. She practically threw my iPad at me, where it hit me in the gut, and took nice girl from the waiting area to leave. Poor thing looked at me with the most apologetic look on her face before leaving with her mother. Sales manager might have helped me, but he's not exactly the nicest person. From now on, I'm not allowed to bring my iPad to the dealer. I have to either leave it in my car or leave it at home. Whatever. Entitled Mom took my Apple Pencil with her since she left in a hurry, so I'm gonna stop by the Apple store after work to get a new one. But until then, I'm stuck with my pens and notepad. Edit, I got off work and today I learned Apple Pencils cost like $120. The first generation. The one Entitled Mom took, I bought secondhand for $70. What the heck? Edit 2. I'm off work tomorrow, but my sales manager called the police and filed a report today using the info we have on file for Entitled Mom. I really don't like getting involved with the law because it makes me crazy nervous, but I pulled through and answered the detective's questions. As far as I know, they have enough info and evidence to reach out to Entitled Mom to get my pencil back. So many of you have been so sweet in offering to send me replacements, offering discounts, and even alternatives until I get my pen back, but I already bought a new one after work like I mentioned. I do intend to make Entitled Mom comp me for the money I spent on it. We'll keep you updated as the story develops. In this day and age, with cameras everywhere, I'm just surprised people are actually willing to commit crimes just in the open, especially like this. The Find My Device feature saved you in this case, as well as the sales manager from embarrassment of accusing Entitled Mom if she really didn't have it. I feel bad for her daughter though. Hopefully she's on track to grow up and be nothing like her entitled mother. Alright, that's enough entitlement for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Entitled Parents. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.